the right and obligation of a husband regarding his spouse and others, and his status in the community and in law. Now, the challenge is that people tell us that they have secret marriages. There is no law in this particular country that makes marriage. Marriage can never be secret. Marriage can never happens to be a public notice to everybody under the law, tradition, and whatever medium it has. So you cannot marry and hide it. So a man or a husband is a male in a marital relationship, like I said from the beginning. He is also referred to as a spouse. He is legally recognized by law. He is traditionally recognized. And once we know who a husband is, then the duties will follow. So a husband's responsibility is first to a wife, not. Listen carefully. Because in the circle of the relationship, the first people that we came across happens to be who? The wives. Why am I a husband? I'm a husband because I have a wife. That's the first thing. Why am I am a husband because there's a wife. Where there is no wife, you can have a husband. Is somebody get what I'm talking about? So once you have a wife, you have a husband. And once you have a husband, the husband must prove to everybody that he's married. So he cannot be doing his own thing anywhere, anyhow, by any means, and believe that he should be referred to as a husband. Is somebody getting my picture here? So he's a husband. He is a husband. He is what? A husband. Why? Because there's a wife. And his responsibility to you is what makes people know that he's a husband. So when a man is in your life as a husband and he is not seen, the only way for you to differentiate between a husband and a wife is the roles that they do. And I'm making a statement again, that whose duty is it to provide shelter? It is the husband's duty to provide shelter. If you are fortunate as a husband to marry a woman who her employers have given her a place called shelter, my brother, don't be a useless man in that flat. Don't be a useless man in that particular, bungalow. Rather, be a useful man in that bungalow. Be an estate developer, because the deduction of the mortgage is coming from your wife's salary. So your amount of money you are supposed to pay every month, you can wisely find a way of using it to develop places that you can rent until your wife retirement and you are ejected from that particular house. But regularly, if you go and check nurses and you go and check teachers, majority of them in this country, Ghana, when they provide shelter for their husbands ends up losing their wives and going out to become useless in public and marry somebody else. I don't sympathize with such women. If a woman provides shelter and the shelter she provides affects a marriage and marriage collapse, I don't blame the man. Because it is not the duty of any man to sleep in a house that is built or owned by a woman. Sensible men don't sleep in a woman's house. To say that there are a lot of men today, they marry you and say, I'm in Sunyani, you are in Accra. So live with your parents, and because you are not, because we are not living together, I don't know why I should waste my money to go and rent a place for you. I think it makes a lot of sense for you to rather live with your parents until, that is how sensible men who think they are wise will do. So anytime they want to come to Accra to come and visit you, they come and visit you in your parents' house. How can you be having sexual intercourse in your in-laws' house with their daughter? Are you serious? Are you serious? There are two things here. There's an event that is occurring in my wife's family house. So we have traveled from Kumasi to Accra. We don't have a place to sleep. Then my wife's family has given us a room to share, which is my wife's room. So we are just here for a funeral, 3 days funeral. And my wife has a room in her father's house and I sleep in it. It's different. But I travel to Accra to come and visit my wife who is in Accra and come and sleep in a room that my wife is sleeping with her sisters. Are you serious? The duty of that particular man is to provide shelter. So provision of shelter is not the duty of a woman. So if you are watching me and you have rented a place you are living in, it is not your duty. I want to repeat. If you are watching me and you are a young girl who have rented a place that you are living in, any guy who is planning to come and marry you, listen to me and listen to me again. That guy must come in to come and provide for you shelter. It is not a duty that once the man comes into your life, the first thing he needs to do is to make sure that where you are living, he comes to pay the rent so that the two of you will continue to live in that place. Change your environment. Go and live in a new place. Feel the importance of coming to live in another place. So a man must provide shelter for you. That's one. So the first thing that makes you find out the man is responsible is that immediately a man comes into your life as a husband, anything you were doing for yourself ceases. When I say anything, it's not like bathing or anything, but the responsibility of your parents ends when you get a husband. Which means your children cannot be an excuse why your husband cannot take care of you. Your husband cannot use your children's school fees to say, I can't take care of you. No way. Your husband cannot use rent to be an excuse why they can't take care of you. Your husband cannot use a 40 car to be an excuse why they cannot take care of you. Your husband cannot even use COVID-19 situation to see the reason why they cannot take care of you. The basic thing in life is that as long as the man is in your life as a husband, it is the basic responsibility of this man to provide for you. How is none of your business. But you need to appreciate it. That's the word. Your appreciation is very essential. So this is what makes the man a husband. And as long as he remains as a husband in your life, and he does it this way, your blessings that will come. So this woman who has refused to appreciate the husband and the man has stopped doing what he's doing, the man is not right. He is right to be hurt, but he has not gotten the right to stop doing what he was doing as a husband. Because your role play defines your position in the life of the woman. You cannot say that you are giving the woman plenty of money so that she will take trouble to take care of herself. No, it doesn't make you a husband. It makes you a shameful husband. You are the one who is supposed to control affairs. Why are you hurt? Why are you using emotions? Your wife has refused to appreciate what you are buying for her. It doesn't stop you from buying what they are doing because of what their wife did. I came to tell you, if you stop what you are doing and you are doing it because of what your wife did, you are not serious. You're not. You're not serious, my brother. So for me, I said this man is not right. The fact is that he cannot stop taking care of the wife because she thinks that the wife has not appreciated what she has done. Confront the issue and continue your duty, because that is what makes you a wife, a husband to a wife. Where there are no duties, when a woman is in a marriage circle and is taking care of herself, she is not married. She is still a single girl but acting to pretend to be married. So, the husband's role is first. I think that the shelter is very important. The first responsibility of a husband that is seen is to pay the bride price of a woman. So let me go it in an order that we understand. You are a man, like I said in the other day, or in my first preamble. You are born as a male, you become a man. Then when you become a man, you go ahead. Become a man, you go ahead to become a husband by marrying a woman. Once you become a husband, you are now going to have the opportunity, when a woman misses a period or her ovulation, then you have the opportunity to become a father. So you become a husband, a father. Do you see the preamble? You are a man first. Once you are a man, you have the capability of going to pay the bride price of a woman. Then you become a husband. In your husbandship, then you impregnate a woman, then you become a father. So it's not the same thing. Which means, anytime a woman allows a man to first go through the reverse. What's the reverse? The reverse is where you rather decide to get pregnant, and when a man impregnates you, they come and check on him and coerce him and lie to him, make him feel comfortable to make you a wife. Then he becomes a husband. Then he reverses now when they ask him money for a man. That's a reverse. And once you reverse it, it becomes difficult for you to be appreciated in the marriage circle. It means that the child is the reason why you are in the marriage. So the focus of the marriage is the child. When a man marries you and his focus is children, it means that he's not ready to marry. He was coerced or lied to marry. So the first responsibility for you to see this man is responsible and he's qualified to keep you in his life till he dies. The first thing you need to know is that he is ready to pay your bride price. He's not ready to make you a mother. So a man who tells you that let me impregnate you so I can marry you, he's a foolish man. And a woman who agrees to it that I know what it means. In my family, when people are married, they don't make babies. So for me, I want to be sure. So I also want to get pregnant for you so you can marry me. You are not normal. You are a disgrace to femininity. People have made mistakes and had children and they have not been married. The fact is that you need to be the medium and the entry into marriage. Anybody who uses pregnancy as an entrance into marriage is a failure. Quote me anywhere. Anybody who enters into marriage with pregnancy is a failure. It's a failure. You are not supposed to enter into any marriage contract. There is no marriage you are supposed to find yourself in with pregnancy. The reason for you to get married is because a man has met you, he loves you, and you respect him, and he's within the catchment area of your life. The type of man you want to see as a husband over yourself, the type of man you want to see as a father for your future children, the type of man that is going to help you to go to your heaven you want to go, the type of man who is going to lead you to find yourself, to become the woman God has made you to be, the type of man who is going to give you the opportunity so that you'll be able to train him, to help him, to trim him, to become a helpmate for him. This is the type of man you want. So if you meet such a man for him to come and marry you, it is not a man to pregnate you so that based on the pregnancy, they go and marry you. That is wrong. That is wrong. That is why they marry you and they don't see your importance in the marriage. That is why they marry you and they don't see you as their focus. They see the children. Any man whose focus is children in marriage is a stupid man. Your focus should not be your children. So the basic thing of a man that he has to find in marriage, the first thing is that he proves that he can get married. When a man fully pays your bride price, not when you are supporting him to pay your bride price. Not when they have given him a list to come and marry you and he's asking you, have you seen the list? The things on the list, what can you buy to help me? What are you bringing on board? Anytime a man asks you, what are you also bringing on board? Tell the man that I am bringing myself, my body for you. Don't tell him, what do you mean? There are things that a woman requires to enter into marriage. But when a man calls you to ask you, what are you bringing on board? That when we were going to get married today, the family of the man called her and I said, Madam, what are you also bringing on board? As my daughter is going, my son is going to marry you. And I said, you answered? He said, yes, I have to answer. What is it that you are useless? Nobody wants you? Which family should call a daughter and ask a woman, Madam, you are going to marry my son. What are you bringing on board? A woman doesn't need anything on board except herself. Her beauty, her ability to have quality sexual intercourse, her ability to run a home, her ability to manage a man, her ability to make babies. These are the things a woman brings on board.